Are we done bopping?
Yeah, we bopped. Nobody got to hear it this time.
Oh.
Well, there goes another great idea of
Here's
mine.
another. You should ask if maybe you could do a collab with them.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you're Hollywood. What our entire podcast embodies, right? Like the chaos train. And
If you saw her highlights on Instagram, first off, she's fast. Check it out.
48 hours from now.
See, I did mbop.
Yeah.
Because I'm weak. My body and brain needs downtime.
Yeah. You know, life throws those moments at you, and
So an hour and a half's already gone up in flames.
we're just gonna hope that the rest of the house isn't on fire.
We might have to put you on pause for a minute. He's going to do it. Hopefully he won't burn down the house.
I think the kids do take advantage of the fact that I can't make it upstairs very often.
It's one of my favorite parts of the house. You'll have to delete this episode if there's any of your enemies. Like, people come and go.
Yeah.
You're talking about some legitimate talent on here. There's a lot of ego in it for the parents.
Yeah, he had the yips. Rick Astley's never gonna give you up.
Well, like the mom I was talking to this morning, and I won't use names obviously here, she's a terrible person. I don't want to sleep on the moms that are competitive too, because
yeah.
we do a lot of yelling, but
Referee abuse.
probably one of the funniest people I know.
Oh, for sure. Nice knowing you all. You know,
I kind of zoned out parents.
it's a dumpster fire here. And
Mommy issues. They all have ego issues.
yep, you guys are banned from the team. Yeah, this is our vent session.
Feel-
Foot in mouth situation.
Total foot and mouth situation. I mean, I know you've got the beef and it's important to work hard. Maybe you're not winning in life because you're not doing this for exercise. You're not doing it because you're good at it.
Hold on. I think we should do a little timeout.
Okay. With daddy issues and mommy issues and ego issues. And he said, just for the record, my son doesn't work at Arby's.
Oh no, the few ruin it for the many. There should
One.
be something that was very executized. Yeah, that was cathartic. This is just warming my heart.
Hard to do in the moment. We can't miss anything on the screens.
But we're late. We need to hurry. Flat out on your closet floor.
Energy's hard to come by sometimes. Worked hard to get to where we are, but we haven't always been there. Just be happy and a kind person.
Happy and kind.
People are going to think I'm the biggest spoiled brat in the world.
Don't regret it. No, I'm just kidding.
Bratty little rich kid.
Yeah, the 3 McLarens, yes.
Shove it in your purse. Turning red.
Oh, they were so embarrassed. They were like,
Put one of those steak knives in there too.
his dogs are out. And I was like, that's just great
It
parenting.
really is.
Standards are pretty high at a 7-Eleven.
There's a reason why they measure you on your way in and out. Most of my funniest jokes are the ones you have to explain. It's like a little puppy, kind of just like hyper around the big dog. Bankers don't golf anymore, but you're not a good golfer either.
No,
Not 1990, so if you know, you know.
it is.
If I can make him laugh, I feel good.
Yeah, you'll just kind of just spoon feed it. And it's great. It usually pops out, and it's the most funny when no one's expecting.
But that was a good one and nobody got it. What did Shaen just say? That made no sense. Like, why would he even say that? Anyways, we're way off subject here. We're way off subject. Yeah.
You know, here's the thing. Like, yeah, I'm ready.
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal. Yeah.
We are not goers on vacation, but and definitely getting through some Malibu rum.
We do that really well on vacation.
Well, if you drink enough, you can, but.
The whale's tail, seeing the Coliseum. Judge all you want.
And I'm excited to take you there because you've never been. So one of the coolest things I ever did, flying into Charles de Gaulle, the Arc de Triomphe right here. You've got, the Eiffel Tower over here. I mean, it was, if I could only pick one place to go on vacation ever again,
Yeah.
it'd be Bora Bora. You want to go to Rome or do you want to go to North Dakota?
Proud Minnesotan.
You done been dropped on your head, son.
Why are you going there for spring break? And I mean, we're in March, people. Oh, let's all celebrate.
Yeah,
Just for
at
us.
a medium pace.
I love March Madness.
I hate it.
Oh.
Just kidding. My Jayhawks are just terrible.
Yeah.
According to the Google,
According to the Google,
and now AI is so good that when you type a question in there, it almost finishes your.
sandwiches. See you all next week.
All right, have a good one. We'll see ya. Bye.
Welcome to the Mr. and Mrs. Inglis Podcast. I'm Megan.
And I'm Shaen. We're here to talk about the wild ride of raising kids, growing careers, keeping life together in the middle of all the chaos.
So buckle up, because we're all in this crazy journey together.
I think we're ready to.
Are we done bopping?
Yeah, we bopped. Nobody got to hear it this time.
Oh, darn. It's always
Yeah.
such a great intro.
Well,
Oh,
it's kind of like a pop song I'm getting ready to make, so I don't want to give away the magic.
I don't know. Hanson may have already done that and, capitalized on that a few years ago. Bop.
Yeah, you're right. So, well, there goes another great idea of
Here's
mine.
another.
Full of them.
Hey, but you know what? I'm sure Hanson, gosh, they're probably pretty old now, but I'm sure they retired handsomely.
Yeah, Hansenly.
Handsomely.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a video of them performing, and all three boys still together, just older, all 30s and 40s.
Right.
Still
Right.
doing the same thing, playing mbop.
Well, did they have another song?
Yeah, they had a lot of songs, but I don't know any of them.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you know any of them?
No, that's why I asked. Like, I'm pretty sure Mbop was the only.
Could be their mbop remix.
Yeah.
Bop, bop, bop. Mbop, bop, bop.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You should ask if maybe you could do a collab with them.
Collab, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're all in media and showbiz at this point, so.
Right. I mean, you're Hollywood.
Yeah, I'll ring them up. That's right.
It's a great idea. You
Yeah.
should do that.
Well, this is our second attempt to sit down this morning.
Yeah.
Actually, now it's afternoon,
It's afternoon
officially
now. Mhm.
to try to
Yeah.
record this.
Yeah, I would say the last 2 hours is really what our entire podcast embodies, right? Like the chaos train and
That's right.
life throwing things at you that you didn't expect.
That's right.
We had a very planned out Sunday, and the plans changed.
Yeah. There's a saying, right, that says something like, if you want God to step in, just start planning everything out.
Yeah, exactly.
Have your plans set.
Yeah.
Nothing bad happened this morning. It's just being down to one driver is difficult.
Yes.
And we had what we thought was potentially a plan today to get somebody home, and we did not. That fell through. It's in the middle of us sitting down to
Yep.
start this.
Yeah. So, well, and then of course, shoes were ordered.
Oh,
However,
Track shoes
track shoes
were stolen or mistakenly taken by somebody at our daughter's track meet this last week.
Yep.
She had to actually borrow a pair of track shoes for that.
Yeah,
If anybody saw the Instagram ones, but we liked that though because orange really kind of stood out.
100%. I loved
If
them.
you saw her highlights on Instagram, first off, she's fast. Check it out. But that helped us find her. You could just
Yeah.
really see her kind of taking off.
Yeah, loved it. So, in lieu of missing shoes, we ordered another pair,
As one does.
as one does, especially when there's a track meet 48 hours from now. And
See, I did the mbop. Anyways, go ahead.
it's like a high five moment. Can you
Is
high
that- are we
five?
doing that?
Yeah, I think we should high five on that one. That was good. That was good. Yeah. So wrong size. Actually, the store shipped the right size. But they were just the wrong size. So now we are scrambling to find those shoes to be shipped in 48 hours so that she can. I mean, there's no chance that she'll have them for practice tomorrow. But
No, so here's what's going to happen. We're going to end up burning the one day that we had 4 hours of nothing to do, which we've talked about before. I need that. I have to have downtime.
Yeah.
Because I'm weak. My body and brain needs downtime.
Yeah.
And this was a 4-hour period that I thought I might be able to get it. Not that I was taking it down. I was going to put some of our, the last remaining holiday decorations up, the snowmen and wintry ones.
The wintry ones
They're
that
not
don't.
holiday.
They weren't holiday. Yeah, they're the winter
So
decorations.
to put those up, I was going to put some of the stuff that's in the garage
Yeah.
needs to go up to the attic. I was going to do that. So not that I was going to sit on the couch and have a yellow jacket, but no,
Right.
I had some stuff to do. Some of those honey-do lists are calming for me too.
Yeah.
No brain type stuff.
Exactly. And they kind of, when you don't have time during the week, it's really nice to have a little bit of time to breathe, to take care of them, and then you can go into the week feeling like you've accomplished something.
Yep.
It wasn't running around somewhere. It wasn't driving somewhere. It wasn't on the sidelines of a tense track meet or soccer game. It was just a calming, easy honeydew list afternoon for just a couple hours.
Yeah. No football, no basketball today that we're watching at least.
Right. It's just that, life throws those moments at you and you're like, oh, I had really earmarked this day for something else.
Yeah. So an hour and a half's already gone up in flames.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. That's life.
But it's life.
As I say on the other podcast, life is what happens when you're busy making other plans.
Yep.
So you got to make sure you enjoy this time too.
Exactly.
Make the most of those in-between moments.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we had lots of chores for them yesterday, so.
We did. Man, they had long lists yesterday, and I think they got through them. Again, this is we need to trust but verify. I think the kids do take advantage of the fact that I can't make it upstairs very often.
Yeah.
Or wait, I can't make it upstairs, period, right now.
Yeah.
I think they take advantage of that a little bit.
Yeah. Should have put the elevator in. I don't know what we were thinking.
I mean, we kind of have an elevator. I don't think it'd be safe for me, but it's a lift,
facetious.
for the record, in the garage.
It is the greatest. So if you're building a house or you're thinking about doing some additional work in the garage into your attic, we designed the house for this, but there's a lift that comes down out of the garage ceiling straight into my garage. And so when it's Halloween or Christmas decorations that all go up into the attic and come down once a year, we add them onto this lift and it just automatically comes down. In fact, it can carry my weight, so I'll put it all on and I'll just lift myself right up into the attic, undo them, and take them down. It's the greatest. It's one of my favorite parts of the house.
It is a great idea. Although it does say very clearly that you are not supposed to ride on the lift.
That's true. So if any warranty issue comes, you'll have to delete this episode if there's any issue.
Yes. For
Proof
the record,
that I've been riding.
Yes, Shaen has never ridden on the lift.
No, I would never do that.
No.
Would never do that.
No, you walk all the way into the house, up the stairs, through the attic every time. Mm-hmm.
So we already had a soccer game this morning.
Yeah.
Got a W, which was good.
It was. It was a great game. It was against a great team, really strong team, and so it was fun.
It was an interesting one though, because it's one of the ones that's political to some degree. Not political is the wrong word for it, but on both sides of it, people really want to win because we had some ex-players on this other team that were loved on our team, and they have great parents that we miss having on the sideline. So it was nice to see them down there, but. It's one of those things, and I was telling our youngest, like, hey, he can be your friend, but out there, and you said it better than I did. I said, out there, you're friends, but on the field or the court, you're enemies. Like, you're gonna, and you said,
you got to compete against them.
You're gonna compete against them. You're not gonna hurt them, but you're gonna compete, and you're gonna put them on the ground, and you're gonna put them on the floor. But after the game, everybody will still be friends.
Exactly, and that's important. And
it's tough, though.
It's tough, and it puts. I mean, I think mentally it's good and bad for the kids, but I think the good part is that, they do learn to compete. The bad part is it's like, it's against my friend, but that is very much just part of, I don't know about all the sports, but for sure in the soccer world, that's part of it because kids switch teams quite frequently, actually.
Yeah.
And so you're competing against someone that you've played with or know, maybe you went to school with them or whatever. So it's.
And this is high level. Some of you may not know, but our youngest plays on a team. He's been on this team for literally. He's actually been the longest tenured player on this team. But it's the hand-picked team. It's the very top team in his age bracket for the Solar Soccer Club.
Yeah.
People have kind of come and gone. That's why he's, to your point, people come and go.
Yeah.
And the team has turned over here and there. But our youngest has been on it with another player. That joined just very shortly after. So the two of them are really the longest tenured on this team. So anyways, we've been on this team for a long time watching, very high-level soccer because what I was getting at is a lot of people may not know, they've been ranked number 1 in the state, this team, and right now they're number 2 on this app it's fairly accurate. Some of the top the top teams are accurate on there, I would say.
I think so.
Right? Whether they're number 5 through number 1, maybe there's some fluidity there.
I think so, yeah.
But right now, we're the number 2 team in all of Texas.
Yeah.
And we're one of the top teams in the country. So you're talking about some legitimate talent on here.
Yeah.
And the team we played today is in the top 5 also. Maybe they're like one behind us on this list.
On this particular list.
On this particular app.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot at stake there, not only for the kids, but where I'm getting at on this long-winded one, it's one of our bullet points kind of helps us get into it, is there's a lot of ego in it for the parents.
Yeah.
Because it's so highly competitive and, at this level, it's, wins and losses matter. In fact, the coaches turn over because it's their job. Like one of the coaches turned over and he made some decisions that some of the parents and the previous players that are no longer with us didn't like.
Yeah.
And they left because he told them straight up that, look, you're not going to get close to me. I can't get close to you because I have a job. I have to come up with 15 pre-MLS players, which is Major League Soccer.
Yep.
And that's my job. If I don't turn, I can't get attached to your child because
I might have to cut them.
And and at this level, it is cutthroat, and that's hard.
It is. And it's hard for the kids. And in fact, You had a brilliant move here. I think when our youngest first, kind of made it to that echelon, right? He's been on this team a long time, but it's, as they get older, it just gets more intense. And he, for lack of a better term, he had the yips. Like it was so intense and so like focused that he wouldn't even allow himself to play free. And so for months, we did dance parties in the parking lot to Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up. Because it just loosened it up. And it's like, if you can't play free, and then it was just the reminder of like, he's just a kid.
Yeah, so much pressure on these poor kids. But if you got to know the Rick Astley song we're talking about, let's not skip over that. Watch that video, YouTube the video. The dance moves in that are just legend.
Dairy.
Wait for it. If you're lactose intolerant. Yeah.
You're in trouble because the next part's dairy.
It's incredible, though. But we tried to loosen them up. There's just so much pressure on these kids. And the parents, including me, put a lot of pressure on them, too.
I think that's natural, and especially when they do play at that level, and their teammates and their competition are all incredible. And so it's like,
Well, like the mom I was talking to this morning, and I won't use names obviously here, she's a terrible person. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. She's incredible. She's incredibly competitive, right? She played high school, or she played college ball.
Yeah.
She may even play
beyond
that. She was a big deal.
She was a big deal.
Her husband was a big deal. He played semi-professional, professional, or whatever. They both are. It's a soccer family for sure, and their kid's an incredible player.
Oh yeah.
So it's just, that is hard. And I talked about it last week, and I was thinking about when I said it, like a lot of the dads are so competitive and they kind of keep that up. But I don't want to sleep on the moms that are competitive too, because she's one of them. You know what I mean? And she could outplay most people on the sideline. So.
Yep.
Anyways, that's who we were playing against this morning. And it's funny because on our list here, we do a lot of yelling, but it's mostly at the refs.
Yep. And so youth soccer, which this is a good thing, but we did this is not
just our team.
This is not aimed at any of our parents, but there was actually
an
email for youth soccer in the Dallas area that came out about referee abuse and just how the repercussions, there's actually fines now and monetary, as well as I think, playing time, your team can get kicked out. And it was an there were a lot of comments from parents like, we
got one guy on our team that's hilarious.
Hilarious.
He doesn't miss a beat.
No.
Probably one of the funniest people I know.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. We get this text from him going, yeah, nice knowing you all, I'm going to get kicked off.
I'm immediately going to get kicked out. And then they came today and he got kicked out of the basketball game yesterday. So it's classic.
Which was hilarious.
It's right on.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Did you not hear that? Oh, you did.
Yeah, I did hear that one. Yeah, I have to kind of sit at the end.
But if the refs would just be better, they wouldn't be in that predicament. There's a little bit of a chicken egg situation here.
They're kind of.
I don't yell at a ref when he makes a call that if we foul somebody or did an illegal and he calls the foul, that's fine.
Yeah, that's what he's there.
It's when they don't call it fair or miss it.
Yeah, and people get hurt.
Yeah, that's the main thing. But we've seen some shady things happen in this league.
We really have. Anyway, politics and youth sports. It's crazy how just the emotions, it's like an emotionally charged thing, like especially at some of these levels. It's crazy.
Was it the same, do you think? I know you were on the sidelines sometimes. You were too busy dancing to play sports.
It was not the same. It was not the same.
I don't remember I played all the sports, but I don't remember. I kind of zoned out, parents, and so I don't even know if I got yelled at or anything like that. I was very focused on the fields or the courts that I was playing on. So, but I just don't remember until we got older, right?
Yeah.
Playing basketball can get a little push come to shove at times.
Yeah. I just think that it's a very one of the coaches used the term in Dallas. He's like, it is. Well, I'm going to use a PG term. It's a dumpster fire here in Dallas. He's like, it's just a different animal because youth soccer specifically in Dallas, it just kind of plays by its own rules, and it is...
It's one of the 3 hot spots in the country.
Yeah. So
Here, Kansas City, and then SoCal.
Yeah. So I don't remember it from Minnesota sitting on sidelines or anything like that. Like that.
So we're just kind of in the fire of it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just we have just horrible refs. Because they all have mommy issues. They all have ego issues.
They do. They have to be right.
And I hate to generalize like that, but all of them do.
Yeah. And if our coach is watching this, he's going to be like, yeah, you guys are banned from the team. Like you're even putting something out on there. Yeah, complaining about refs.
We got to get it out here and just not on the sidelines.
Yeah, this is our vent session.
Yeah. I did that one time. I have kind of calmed down on the refs since the one time I yelled at a ref. Did I tell the story on here?
I don't think so, and it is hilarious.
Oh,
This is
I
like
do feel
foot in mouth situation.
total foot in mouth situation. But and apologies if anybody listening works at Arby's. I mean, I know you got the beef, and it's important to work at Arby's, and you provide something to
The meats, yeah.
you provide something to society. But that being said,
Maybe grade F meat, but okay.
Great, yeah. Grade F. Long and the short of this story is I would yell out, go back to Arby's. You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't be a ref. You should go back to your fast food job because obviously, I don't know. You know, maybe you're not winning in life.
Yeah.
I don't know, because you're not doing this for exercise. You're not doing it because you're good at it. So what are you good at? You know what I mean? So
Right.
My comeback was always like, go back to Arby's. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I yelled at this kid who was just terrible. In fact, he had turned around and said, you guys deserve it. He got snippy with the
He told us,
sideline.
that our team deserved to lose, and it was the middle of the game, and that we would lose, and he should not have said what he said.
So I told him to go back to Arby's, and afterwards, his dad, and the kid was 20s. I mean, he didn't look like he was 18. I didn't think, or like
No,
14,
yeah,
like some of them were.
Oh gosh,
I wouldn't have said it to a minor, obviously.
I think we should hold on. I think we should do a little timeout.
Okay.
And we are talking about fully grown adult refs.
Yeah.
Any child who is doing this, learning, we have never once yelled at. So I just want to go out and say that. Like,
That's a good point.
Ever have we yelled?
These are grown men.
Grown men and women. Too.
And women with daddy issues and mommy issues and ego issues. So anyways, I told this guy, that person's dad happened to be at the game watching his son ref. And he came up to me after the game and he said, just for the record, my son doesn't work at Arby's. And so ever since then, I'm a little, I'm cognizant of maybe who may be there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like at the last game, his kids were there.
Yeah.
That sideline, the ARs, his kids were there. He brought them. You weren't there at that game, but his kids brought him hand warmers and stuff.
Oh.
And so, I don't want to, that made me even think of that again.
Yeah,
I shouldn't be berating this guy, especially in front of his kids.
Kids.
I wasn't. He was fine. But
Right.
I haven't really done it since then.
There's honestly, I think this could be a situation where just like, because there are ones that we recognize as like we get to the game and we're like, oh no, that are just notoriously bad. And I wonder if they ruin it, the few ruin it for the many, because honestly, there are some really good ones that keep it in hand, that always seem fair, that basically we don't ever notice because they are good. I wonder if that's just like the few that we know, because there are some where we roll our eyes the second we get to the field.
Yeah, some are better than others. I wish there was a way to rate them after the game, such that if you got, like anybody on Google gets 5-star reviews. If they're down to a 1-star review, you don't go to that restaurant because they got a 1-star review.
Yeah.
So all these refs should be reviewed by both coaches.
Yeah.
Right. And if you end up getting so many 1s, because one coach will be like, "Oh, he was great. He called everything for me," but the other one gives him a 1. And maybe you have to wait 48 hours, so you're not mad about it.
Yeah,
like
there should
1.
be something.
But let's identify those few that you're suggesting potentially are ruining it for the rest. Let's identify those and weed them out.
Yeah.
Or, if we want to be, if we want to, turn this to more corporate America, let's get them the help that they need to be better at what they do.
Oh, that was very executized. That was great. Yeah.
Executized, yeah.
Yeah. That would be good. Well, we're all growing and learning.
Yeah. Yeah. Growing and teaching
Yes.
also.
Yes, exactly. That's a great idea.
Teaching our way. So, anywho, that's. I feel like that was getting it off our chest.
Yeah, that was cathartic. That was really good. That was really good. Because otherwise, I mean, it's been like a really awesome week. We had a lot of fun things. We celebrated our oldest birthday.
That's right.
And we had a lot of really fun family time.
Yeah, you're talking about steak. Last night we went out to a nice dinner because he didn't want to go bowling or anything like that. So we took the family out to a nice dinner at a really nice steakhouse, and it's just, we've talked about it before. It's so fun because they're at that age now where we can just have discussions.
Yes.
We have family talks, and you brought up the point that you love it because he's asked for it.
Yeah.
Like, that's what he wants to do, spend family time.
He wants family time. He picked, like, on his actual birthday. It was Monday. It was school night. So he's like, I just want to do homemade pizza, which is usually a family event, right? We all make a part of it. The kids help and eat at the table. I was like, this is just warming my heart because our 15-year-old just truly wanted family time.
Yeah.
I mean, we were at the restaurant for almost 3 hours last night, just talking, laughing. Like, it was great.
It was so much
enjoying
fun. So much
wonderful
fun.
food and enjoying wonderful company. Like, I started talking college a little bit with him.
I almost feel bad about that because, and we always say that we're busy and running from here and there, and I know everybody out here is in the same boat, but we do it for the kids. We're busy because of the kids and for the kids, right? And we love that portion of it, but are we missing the forest for the trees there? Not that we can tap the brakes on it because schedule is the schedule.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that he is looking for more family time, which is what you're kind of keying in on there, because he's not getting enough of it during the week.
Yeah.
And that tells me that I probably need to, again, those in-between moments.
Yeah.
5 minutes to put the stinking phone down or close the computer and just stare at him while he's talking to me or any of them. I think those are the little in-between moments that I got to stop missing. And we've talked about that before.
Yeah.
It's hard to do in the moment.
It is.
I'm busy.
Yeah.
I got to get some relaxation in time. I got to fit this in because I got to go to this, to this, to this.
Yep.
Those 5 minutes, maybe they add up to 25 minutes in the whole day. Man, if I can't give 25 minutes to the kids just to do nothing, and I don't ignore them, but I'm just saying just to give them that
dedicated.
Yes, completely unplugged. Because that's the thing now. It's a screen. Everybody's got a screen.
Yeah.
And we can't miss anything on the screens.
Right. And it's like, we don't want to miss life because we didn't want to miss something on a screen. Like, that's not life. Right. So, yeah. Right. And he's one, he just wants to listen to music and talk to you about the music. He's just into a lot of different things. And, like, I even felt bad because he really wanted to tell me how he was going to cook the steak while we're back here. And I'm like...
And I was like, buddy...
But we're late. We need to hurry.
I know, like, this weighs on us.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to be able to sit there and enjoy that with you if we can't get this done.
Yes.
Because there's no other time. We have another soccer game tonight. We got to go get track shoes now.
Yeah.
There's no time.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I got to have some energy because literally before the first one...
You were laying flat out on your closet floor.
Which, for the record, I do all the time. I don't think I've ever done it before. I don't think I've ever done that before, but I was like...
You were tired. So
I laid down on the closet floor.
Yeah. You're like, it's a nice carpeted floor. It's clean. Like, anyway, I look over.
Like most 48-year-old men do.
Yeah. Is that the
48-year-old
version of, like, the fetal position when your 3-year-old's throwing a tantrum?
Yeah, just prostrate to the ground.
Yeah. You're like, I just need a moment.
Oh, my gosh.
It was great.
Got to get that energy. Energy's hard to come by sometimes.
Oh, it is a very, very rare commodity.
Yeah. But we had so much fun there last night, though.
Gosh, it was fun.
You walk out, they got, the kids. One thing I did love is the kids have a good balance of, like, they're starting to get that good balance of, like, what is normal and what's not economically.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we've been blessed in our lives to have, some, we've worked hard to get to where we are. But we haven't always been there.
Right.
And because of that, we've raised our kids, I think, to appreciate that this is not really the norm.
Yeah.
Because I also don't want to set a bar that's high if they end up living in an apartment when they're 35 or
Right.
like you're not a failure because you're just be happy and a kind person.
Happy and kind.
That's all we care about
Exactly.
in the end. But our daughter walked in carrying her purse.
Yes.
Right, and she's like, I don't want to. People are going to think I'm the biggest spoiled brat in the world because you have a Louis Vuitton purse, as
right.
people do these days.
Yes.
And by the way, that is not the most expensive purse anymore.
It is not. And I waited until I was 40. It was, actually my 41st birthday, I think, is when I got it.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
And it was a big deal. Like, that's something that's a big deal to us. And
We sold our fourth kid off for that purse.
Exactly.
So we put a lot of thought into that.
Yeah. I don't regret it. No, I'm just kidding. There was no fourth child, I promise. But I love the fact that she was a little bit,
She was cognizant of it. She was worried that people were going to judge her for being like just some bratty little rich kid.
Yeah.
Because you walk in past three, what were they last night?
McLarens. Oh, yeah, the 3 McLarens, yes.
Yeah, parked out front.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's money at that place.
Yeah.
And the other side of that coin is she walks in all like, look at me, I'm Miss Rich little kid. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I love that, they're aware of that.
Yeah, and she didn't want to do that. It was like,
right,
just me. And
right. So when we started joking with the waitress, because she's like, do you want some more bread? And somebody else had already brought out 2 plates of bread.
Yeah.
And she brought a third. She's like, oh, I didn't realize they'd already brought this out. And like, well, we'll take it. And we started joking with her to bring more. And I was like, shove it in your purse.
Right,
At this fancy place. And our kids were like just turning red.
Oh, they were so embarrassed. They were like, oh no.
Put one of those steak knives in there too.
Yeah. Oh, it was just.
We get a full set eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
But she was also cultured enough to know that the person at the table off to the side of us, he had slides on and took them off. And she's like, Mom, his dogs are out. And I was like, oh my gosh, seriously? Someone took their shoes off. So, I mean, she's cultured enough to know you don't take your shoes off at a restaurant also.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
it's great parenting.
It's just great parenting.
It really is.
Of all the things, we'll take pride in that.
That's right. Wear shoes at a steakhouse.
In fact, I'm pretty sure on any restaurant, it literally says no shirt, no shoes, no service.
Yeah, in 7-Eleven it says it, let alone a steakhouse. I mean, come on.
Standards are pretty high at a 7-Eleven.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
that's true. There's a reason why they measure you on your way in and out. The standards are high.
They're high.
Yeah, make sure you can hit those standards. Say his standards were about 6 foot.
It actually that was a thinker. That one was over my head at first.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Well, anybody that knows me well knows just how funny I am with an asterisk, because most of my funniest jokes are the ones you have to explain.
Of course. Always.
That's right.
In fact, I'm pretty sure I explained one of my jokes last week, and as we were doing our pre-watch, we always watch it before it goes out, kind of one last viewing. I was like, oh, all the jokes you explain those are definitely the funniest.
Yeah, you can kind of tell. You just got to go with it, though.
You do.
That's why I'm a little nervous I was supposed to go. I was a last second fill-in to go golfing.
Yeah.
With that guy that's on our soccer team. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
And he's also an intelligent guy, successful, but he's just so stinking funny.
Yeah.
And he's one of these guys that I enjoy bantering with him, but it is like a little puppy, kind of just like hyper around the big dog, funny guy. You know what I mean? It's how I feel a little bit. So I eventually, the other guy that I was gonna fill in for the foursome because I could only do 9, so they let him go. And I haven't golfed in like 10 years.
At least, yeah.
Bankers don't golf anymore. Back when I started banking, we did golf, but that industry has changed.
Yeah.
And I'm not a good golfer. I enjoy it. I love being out there, as do you, but you're not a good golfer either.
No. Gosh, no.
We say that because we both know we're not golfers.
You can't be a good golfer if you've gone twice in your life. Right.
Like I hit, I'm like 90s. I'm a 90s, mid-90s golfing guy, not 1990s. So if you know, you know. Anyways, I'm a little nervous, that I'm just going to embarrass him because I'm bad. I actually haven't swung since my shoulder injury.
Yeah.
So I'm a little nervous about how bad I'm going to be and if he's going to regret it immediately that he asked me, because he knows he's going to be out there for at least 2 hours, if not 4 with me. And he's immediately like, he's going to have his wife, like, it's like that date, that blind date you go on. Like if it's working out, you have your friend call you.
Yeah.
If it's not.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I got to go. It's an emergency.
It's an emergency.
Anyways, I'm nervous. I'm a little nervous to go golfing with him because, like, I gotta live up to that for a long time. I gotta get a lot of energy, and
But you've spent that kind of time with him, and you've been able to match the hilarity, and
not
it's
match,
always,
but yeah, I try to stay with him on some.
It is.
If I can make him laugh, I feel good.
Yeah, like I've listened to your banter. It's really funny, and you'll just kind of just spoon feed it, and it's great. It's fun to have you two next to each other on the sidelines because it's entertaining for me.
Yeah.
It's probably entertaining for his wife too.
Maybe. Yeah. She's used to funny, so she's like, he tries. But I know I'm not. I mean, like, I'm whatever. I don't know how to say that. I have humor, but it's not like your family's funny in a different way than I'm funny. You
have a very dry sense of humor, very sarcastic. He's
Yeah.
very sarcastic too.
Yeah.
He might just like up a notch a little bit, but
he's just hilarious. Yeah, I wouldn't take offense to that at all.
You just have a very sarcastic, dry sense of humor.
Yeah.
It's funny, and
Well,
it usually pops out, and it's the most funny when no one's expecting it.
but it's also the most likely to fall flat.
Is that
right?
true?
I think so.
I don't know.
Like if you don't catch the sarcasm of it or just the slight little one, you know what I mean? Like that was a good one and nobody got it. And they didn't get it. And because they didn't get it, it's like, what did Shaen just say? That made no sense. Like, why would he even say that? So it's like either you nail it and it was funny, or you don't nail it and it's like just another, notch in.
Yeah.
Shaen's a little weird. I hope nobody thinks that, but anyways, we're way off subject here. We're way, way off subject.
Instead, it's, shoot for the moon. If you miss, you land among the stars. That's kind of how I think about it.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, anyway, so that should be fun because the weather's turning, and hopefully, I think we have a few more nice days here. But I don't know. We're still jonesing for a vacation. Like, the weather, at least for the last week or so, has turned here. It's getting us that spring fever. In fact, I think a lot of people are dealing with allergies, so maybe it's hay fever or whatever. But man, spring fever's hitting. But
so I don't think we're gonna do a spring break.
Yeah, I think we decided last week it would just not be great with.
It's just a lot for you.
Yeah.
And you're getting around. We see the doctor this week, so hopefully you'll get kind of the green light to walk again. But do you feel confident enough to walk again? Without crutches.
Maybe.
Yeah, see, yeah.
Here's the thing. Like, it changes daily. Like, it is daily improvement, which is really cool to see.
Yeah.
And so if you had asked me even 4 days ago, I'd be like, oh, I don't think so. But, like, I'm at the point where I'm like, maybe. And so by Wednesday, I might be like, yeah, I'm ready. Like, I just took a step and it felt okay.
Yeah. Kind
of a thing. So I think it just makes it hard, though, because I would slow the family down so much. Even if I'm walking, I'm not at the same pace that everyone else would. I mean, we were talking about Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Because that was a fabulous vacation.
We strongly considered going to Costa Rica over spring break, just in 2 weeks, because the place that we stayed at was available again. And that place was phenomenal.
Phenomenal. Oh.
And I mean, we'd all love, but the way we like to do vacations, I don't know if other people like this. Well, I don't know. A lot of people we know are goers on vacations.
Yeah.
We are not goers on vacation, but we figured out a good structure to vacation for us is go one day, and the next day we're at the pool or staying at the house or whatever, because we always have a pool to lounge at. Yeah. We're usually beach vacationers too. Mm-hmm. So one day we'll go on a long hike to that waterfall, or we went zip lining, or we went on the boat. But the next day we're at the house, we're playing cards, we're playing around in the pool, we're eating guac and chips.
Yep.
And definitely getting through some Malibu rum.
Yeah. We do that really well on vacation.
On vacation, very well. It's water. Mm.
Mm-hmm. Like, and it's amazing. You don't even get a buzz.
Yeah. Well, if you drink enough, you can. But So yeah, we decided to pass on that because we just thought it was just a little too much to get you down there, and we would have just had to sit at that place.
Yes.
There would have been no going anywhere.
Yeah. I mean, even so, and that was one of the coolest vacations, the whale's tail. So look it up at Uvita. It's right off of Uvita in Costa Rica. It is one of the coolest things. That beach was the largest beach I have ever seen. The water was so warm, but it's like
All to ourselves, too.
all to ourselves. I mean,
Incredible.
but I was just thinking, like, could I even walk in that water with that resistance on a knee that's still healing?
I wouldn't want you to. That water, the way it was zipping in, depending on the time of the tide coming in. But yeah, we'd have to really time that out. It just isn't ideal.
Yeah. So.
But we'll save it up because we might take a longer. We
Summer.
still haven't decided on that one yet, but we're thinking about taking a cruise over in the Mediterranean.
Yeah. Which would be so fantastic.
Yeah.
So fantastic. I think it would be good. I mean, our kids have seen, I mean, we've been to the Dominican, I mean, we've been to some of the more like Central American, Caribbean type locations, but I really do want our kids to start seeing other parts of the world, and I think this one would be really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know that they'd have the full appreciation of some of it that, you and I have, but I do think that just seeing a different culture is really important.
And they're more, that experience in Costa Rica was incredible for them, right?
Yeah.
They tried to speak a little bit of Spanish while
Yep.
we were down there and whatnot, and just seeing how other people live and how lucky we are to have some of the things that we have, I think is just huge, just to start planting those seeds so that they understand that. But one thing for them, watching soccer and some of the soccer is so international.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is the biggest sport in the world. Most people don't realize that, I guess, but some of the international soccer players are from Europe and all these places. So to me, I think they're more aware of that than I was at their age.
Yeah, because they follow these players.
Right. So they know where they play, they know where they live, in Europe and stuff like that. So I think that they for that reason, and this is one of the questions I posed to you, just playing a little bit of bad cop or devil's advocate, is would they appreciate it?
Yeah.
Right. We know we'd appreciate it because it's 3 different countries, kind of over in the Mediterranean.
Yeah.
But would they appreciate it?
Yeah. And this is probably a sliding scale, right?
Yeah.
Like, seeing the Colosseum, they're going to think is super, super cool, but will they be in awe of the fact of, seeing this ancient structure, or even in Athens, like that ancient structure? Like, would they? I don't know.
Well, we even tried to start preparing them for that a little bit, like we're watching Gladiator. Like, this is where it was, you know what I mean? So, but I mean, for a kid...
So, yes,
that helps.
We do have a
place
10-year-old that has watched Gladiator. Just
it's not bad. After we rewatched it, there's way worse.
There's way worse, yeah. So, judge all you want, like.
I don't think there's much judgment on that one. It's not as bad as I thought it was.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty gory at the time, but after watching it, maybe we've just been desensitized.
They haven't seen Save It Private Ryan, or what was the one that we watched?
300 or
no, not 300. The one where the doctor kept going up over and saving people, or he wasn't a doctor.
Hacksaw Ridge.
Yeah, Hacksaw Ridge.
Yeah, we have not introduced.
That was the most gory I've ever seen.
That was probably
what a movie. But anyways,
we're.
I think that seeing some of those movies just to give them that history in an entertaining way sets that table for that's what happened here.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Not to mention the architecture, which I just love because I've been to Europe before, and I'm excited to take you there because you've never been to Europe.
Right. So we need to go. I mean,
yeah, I was lucky to do some traveling when I was younger.
Yeah.
One of them was I worked for FedEx back when you could fly for free anywhere on a FedEx plane. You'd jump seat.
So cool.
So one of the coolest things I ever did in '96. I believe that's when it was, 96, I think, because the World Cup was in France.
Yeah.
And I flew in on this MD-11 in the cockpit. So an MD-11's huge. I mean, the cockpit, it's just 11 feet of windshield there, flying into Charles de Gaulle, which is the main airport there in Paris. And you got the Arc de Triomphe right here. Wow. You've got, the Eiffel Tower over here. I mean, it was incredible.
Wow.
Incredible. And of course, you go see Notre Dame. And I mean, the history there, I mean, I love that. It's just, it's to me, I don't know, I've romanticized it for whatever reason, but that's over a lifetime. I just don't know if the kids would
Yeah.
appreciate some of that just yet. But I was lucky enough to do that. I got to go to Egypt, and
Yeah.
I've been to, where else have I been? Israel. I've been to some of those places on a trip that I went with my family when I was younger.
Yeah.
Incredible. And some of those places may not even be safe to go back to now.
Yeah. Quite possibly. But I think, yeah, you're very well traveled. So
I don't know if it's well traveled, but I've traveled. I'd like to do more of it. But taking you and the kids on it is like, it's like sharing it.
yeah.
I know you will obviously appreciate it incredibly.
Yeah.
You've waited too long, honestly, but
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we have taken some fun vacations.
we went the other way. Bora Bora was incredible.
Bora Bora was incredible. Yeah.
I mean,
So that was the other way.
I would for the rest of my life, if I could, I would stamp if I could only pick one place to go on vacation ever again,
yeah.
be Bora Bora.
Oh, that was probably my favorite vacation. That was just hands down unbelievable.
The watercolor. We did one of the over the water bungalows
Yeah.
at a smaller resort, so it was like we had the whole thing to ourselves.
Like-
Over the watercolors were just
Yeah. Me and we
Incredible.
would just sit out there and just watch the water.
82 every day. On my phone, I still have Bora Bora up on
I
the
do
weather.
too.
On the weather
I do too. Yep.
every day. For the longest time, I had the Bluetooth thing on there too, but I have
Yeah.
too many phones now. It's got lost.
Yeah. Yeah. That was
But I want to go back there though. That would be one to go back to. Not obviously this year, but
right. But I mean, there's got to be a Hallmark anniversary or something coming up.
I know we're starting to get long and we're wrapping it up
Yeah.
soon here, but I also want to do some of those things in the United States though. Like I just mentioned on Morning Cereal that I've never been to the Grand Canyon. Like you got to go to the Grand
haven't?
Canyon at some point. No,
Oh,
I want to go
yeah.
to see the redwoods.
Yeah.
I want to
do
take the
too.
kids. I've been to DC and all that, but I want to go see, where our founding fathers, the East Coast is incredible up there
Yeah.
as well. There's some history there
Yeah.
to be seen. So there's places in the United States I'd love to get to.
Yeah. I agree.
Also, it's finding the time, and
Yeah.
if you got a week, where do you want to spend it,
Yeah.
You want to go to Rome or do you want to go to North Dakota?
Okay, North Dakota, no offense to North Dakotans, that's not a destination place. Someone actually told me at work, they're like, hey, I'm going to Minnesota for spring break. And I was like, as a proud Minnesotan, why are you going there for spring break?
One question for you. Why? Yeah.
Why?
What the?
Like, are you sure?
Yeah. I've been dropped on your head, son.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, July, fine, go, have fun, but
Yeah, not spring break. It's not time yet.
Dicey.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful there when it's warm and not too humid. But
right, but like,
there's like 3 good weeks there. I'm
It
just
is-
kidding. I like it, but
it isn't, let's all just agree that it is not a spring break destination
yeah,
place.
that's true. We can all
Right?
agree
Like,
on
I
that.
think we would all agree on
I
that.
think so. I think so.
So, I don't know. Should we wrap it up and end on an agreement, or like end on an agreeable note of Minnesota not for spring break?
Yes, we should. We can all agree on that for sure.
Yeah.
But what do we have coming up this week? That's always something fun to look forward to, right?
Oh yeah. Let's see. We have another track meet.
Oh, so please check out, if you haven't seen it, again, it's okay to brag every now and again, right? But check out the Instagram post on our daughter. We're being braggadocious on that, but she's been working hard for track
6 months.
for
Like,
6 months, and it showed. She
She did.
dusted some people, and it's on video. It's fun. So hopefully she keeps doing that.
Yeah. I think she had fun.
So we have another one of those,
Assuming
which
she has shoes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
assuming we can get shoes for her, and
Yeah. A couple more games. We have some.
another soccer game tonight.
Yep. Another, yeah, just tonight and Tuesday and Friday.
Probably Wednesday too.
Probably Wednesday too. And yeah, I get to go to the doctor, maybe find out a little bit more about my knee.
That's good.
And I mean, we're in March, people.
Yeah.
We're like 2 weeks away from spring break.
Yeah.
Actually, by the time this airs, we're 1 week away from spring break.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Oh, let's all celebrate.
Yeah.
So,
So I might be going golfing for the first time in 10 years.
yeah.
So I'll give
I
an update
can't
on
wait
that.
to hear about that.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I'm excited for it actually. That'll be good. What else do I have? So I don't know. Yeah, life's moving along
Yeah.
at the normal pace here.
Which is a frenetic pace, but it's
Yeah.
the normal pace for
At
us.
a medium pace.
Oh,
Remember that one?
yeah. Adam Sandler, right?
Yeah. Put out a little SNL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that, lunch lady land.
March Madness is coming out too.
I love March Madness.
I hate it.
Well,
Just kidding. My Jayhawks are just terrible. We're bad on the offensive side and the defensive side. And I love Jayhawks. I mean, if this makes it to you guys, I love you guys. I saw Bill Self. The family met Bill Self.
Yep.
Incredible man.
He was.
When we were up there for my
So
graduation.
humble, so
Yeah.
funny,
Anyways,
witty. Yeah.
I'm going down a road, but we've got Big 12, all the conference play starting this week. So.
Conference play starting this week. I mean, we got to do the brackets.
Yep.
I love March Madness.
Great time.
It just, anytime you turn it on, you're going to watch a great game.
I'm saying it tomorrow on Morning Cereal, but so spoiler alert. Oh, no, it won't be because you guys are watching this in reverse.
Yeah.
Or in arrears. But it is also, because it's so well watched, March is well known as the least, what's the word I'm looking for there? The least amount of work gets done in March.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Less than
it's
December?
It's the most unproductive working month of the year because
Worse
of
than December?
NCAA. Yeah. I mean,
I don't doubt it.
according to the Google.
According to the Google, which we all know the Google's never wrong.
Nope.
You can believe everything.
You're an expert. All you got to do is just type it in and Google tells you. Now you're an expert.
Now you're an expert, yeah. Google has never led anyone astray.
They have not.
The algorithms are.
And now AI is so good that when you type a question in there, it almost finishes your...
Sandwiches.
There you go. Boom.
Boom.
All right. That's it. We were getting close. We got to wrap that one up.
All right. See you all next week.
All right. Have a good one. We'll see ya.